Hello my brothers and sisters, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you always know when I post a new upload. And if you're returning, welcome back and thank you so much for supporting my channel. In this video I will be discussing and reviewing the Premier Inn hotel chain here in the UK. And let's dive right in. So with the Premier Inns around the UK, they're usually very I'd say they're more business-like now, whereas before they were very budget-ended, like the Imbus Hotel. But the Premier Inn's gone for more like business side of things. I've always had a very pleasant stay with them, and they've always had a really nice, elegant, comfortable room for me to stay in. Excellent power shower, fantastic bath, and their bathrooms have always been very clean and tidy, as well as their rooms. And you know me, I do like to double check a bathroom. So with the Premier Inn now, they've really vamped up. They've really amped up their game. They've become a little bit more business-like, as I've said, and they've just, I mean, look at the decor there. It's just so lovely. It's very classy, very do what it says on the tin, with a little bit more elegance attached to the price tag, of course. I mean, it's still reasonably priced, in a sense. Like when you book a room here, it covers everything included, such as the Wi-Fi and tea and coffee facilities and everything else. But if you want to include a breakfast, I believe it's £8.50 per person at the hotel rooms partners. So I believe that the Premier Inn's partnered up with the Beefeater, the Bride's pub, and a local pub that's nearby. That's literally just next door. At the Norwich airport, the Premier Inn there, it was sitting next to the Oak pub, where you could go in and have your breakfast and your dinner. And there's a breakfast there, very nicely cooked breakfast, and it's all serviced at your table, which is lovely. So most Premier Inns I've stayed with has always been attached to a pub. There's always something nearby for you to go and have your dinner or your breakfast. So that's why I always highly recommend a Premier Inn. If you can get one quite cheaply when you're travelling, I honestly recommend doing it. I do recommend not booking a Premier Inn around about a peak season, depending on where you go. For example, when I went up to Inverness, I paid £150 for my room, which included the Wi-Fi, the facilities, a dinner, and as well as my breakfast for the next morning. So I had a big bundle for £150, and that was the cheapest rate for July in Inverness, and that was the most expensive I've paid for a Premier Inn. But to be honest with you, it was money well spent. I had a comfortable sleep, I had a fantastic dinner, and I also had a lovely breakfast in the morning. So it was all bundled with one. I didn't have to worry about taking my wallet with me or anything, just my book. So I highly recommend doing it off peak season if possible. If you've got children, the Premier Inn has free breakfasts for children under the age of 14, I believe, and I think kids can eat for £5 in the evening, depending on where you go. The one at Inverness, I believe it was $9.99 for a child for a 3-course dinner. So there's some perks to it. Just make sure you do a little bit of research, and just make sure that it's in the off-peak, because it can get quite expensive if it's in the in-peak seasons, like most places is nowadays. Again, I do rate the Premier Inn as a 9 out of 10, mainly because they have really vamped up. They really became business and classy, very elegant, and they've really improved their beds as well. When I first started staying with the Premier Inn back in 2016 for a conference that I went to, the bed wasn't as great, but obviously as I went to more and more conferences and I started staying in some more hotels across the country, the beds got better. They really took on the feedback from obviously their customers. I believe they have, and you can't beat a Beefeater. You really can't. Not literally one just next door. So if you and your gang is all staying in one place and you just want somewhere local where you don't have to stagger back to the hotel too far, I do recommend a Premier Inn, because it's always attached to a really nice pub next door. You can get your dinner together and you can have a right good mess, right, as they say, a good piss up in the evening. And it's reasonably priced in the pubs that's attached as well. It's standard pricing. Back in October 2020, when the whole of Scotland decided to say no drinking during lockdown because of COVID, that was great for my 30th. So the whole time when I was in Edinburgh, Inverness and Glasgow, Scotland could not drink alcohol. Yay! But when I went round, I had a nice the Kraken rum and cranberry juice at the Premier Inn in Inverness back in July, and it cost me around about $4.50. So it's still standard pricing. Unless you drink like a fish, then it's going to cost you a bomb. Not going to name no names, boys. God, my bike riders can drink. I thought I could handle my alcohol, but you guys, my goodness. But anyway, so again, if you've got a big family, they do a big family room here at the Premier Inn. They do a fantastic family room. It comes with a cot, comes with 2 beds as well as a double bed, and it is a little bit more expensive. Like I think it's an extra £50 on top to have the family room. So it's I always loved a Premier Inn. A Travelodge Premier Inn. They've always been my go-to. They've never let me down. They've always done the job, and their parking has always been pretty standard as well. And like it's not got 24-hour CCTV. At least I don't think it does. I mean, I know the one up in Inverness didn't have CCTV, but I know the one in not in Shrewsbury. That's the Travelodge in Shrewsbury. Beg your pardon. I know the one at the airport had CCTV, had 24 hours, and the one in Glasgow did. But the one up in Inverness, I was told that it's not 24 hours security and CCTV. So if you are worried about your bike, make sure you park it somewhere where it's in front of the reception desk, because the reception desk is 24 hours. And just put an alarm on your motorbike as well. I mean, I've got 3 alarms on my motorbike, so if those go off all at the same time, that person's ears is going to bleed. And of course, I usually park my bike close to my room and under a CCTV camera if possible, so that if anything happens and something goes off, I can always just run to my bike there and then. I mean, I have heard a car alarm go off at night and I literally ran out thinking it was my motorbike. So I've never heard my motorbike's alarm before. Well, I've heard the tester, I just haven't heard the other two's alarms go off. So I ran out thinking it was my bike, and it wasn't. It was someone's car. They had bumped into it when unloading coming in. So I was like, oh, okay. 1:30 in the morning, this is great. I've just got to try and get back to sleep after being outside in the cold. Anywho, as you can see from my pictures on my way or coming away from the hotel, it's lovely. It really is. It does me absolutely brilliantly. A Premier Inn, comfortable. Even the little armchairs they got in there that you could actually take apart and use as a bed, they're actually really comfortable. That brown armchair there, it's actually really comfortable. And if you're just chilling out in your room after a long travel and you're having a day where you're just chilling out for a day, you're not doing nothing, it's just do your washing, relax, stretch and just do nothing day, I literally sat on that and just relaxed, and with my book, a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits, and just chilled out for some of the day, just so I could rest my legs, because being on a cruiser, your backside, everything just goes numb after riding for about 7 days straight. And after doing all them rides, when I was travelling on my own around the UK, I just wanted a day where I did nothing nothing to do. Gave my bike a rest, gave me a rest, and I highly recommend doing that if you have a long travel ride to up to 2 to 3 weeks. Have a day where you do nothing. Honest to God, it refreshes you and it revamps you, and you're not gonna be tired coming close to the end of your ride either. So that's what I did when I went round on my own back in October 2020, and it's the best advice I heard, which has actually been advised from FTA Adventures here on YouTube, so go check him out. He travels the whole of the US constantly. The man is an absolute legend. I highly recommend his channel, especially if it's your first time travelling on your own or in a group. I highly recommend his channel because he goes over what's the best things to do, because he's been doing this for years. He just knows like the best tips and tricks, and he also just knows that there's going to be a time where you're going to want to do nothing but chill out, rest, and take in the scenery. So without further ado, again, I highly recommend the Premier Inn, and I'm rating it a good 9 out of 10 because it's always been spotless. I've never had any issues at all with a Premier Inn. They've really improved, and they always seem to have very good staff and very helpful staff too. And I've never had an issue. But do comment below if your opinion of the Premier Inn. Let's all learn together. I'm going to leave that video here, and I will get my road footage out soon. They are exporting as I'm doing this. Finally! So, I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. Have an excellent weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!